Welcome back to another episode of Kiwi Hooper podcast. We're here with a special guest. Many of you might have heard of the name, and many of you might not. So I will let you introduce yourself. Welcome to the show, Leah Mafua.
Yes, hi everyone. Hi KiwiHoopers. My name is Leah, originally hailed from Wellington, New Zealand.
Who handed you your first basketball? And tell me about your upbringing.
So I live in a little town in Wellington called Wainuiomata, and a lot of good street ballers came out of there. And my older brother, happened to be one of them, and he was the first one to give me a basketball and to show me the game. So his name's Samuel. He's the oldest out of all my siblings. So I got two sisters and a brother, obviously. And he's a huge Laker fan, big Kobe Bryant fan, and we've got a 10-year age gap between us two. So just watching him play high school ball back in those days, the physicality of it, seeing a lot of what he watched on the NBA translate into the game, I was really fascinated by that. And so I thought, why not just show up to his games, see a little bit more, and go from there. Yeah. Me and my younger sister, Rosie, we actually played netball first. That was our, main sport. But we did know a little bit about basketball through Samuel. And, our netball season just finished, and I was still, a little kid just wanting to play more sports. And so I thought, try basketball out. Happened to be sort of good at it. So, kept going with it. And the rest is history after that.
And you obviously played a couple of international competition for New Zealand, the Under-17 Oceania Cup, and also the Under-18 Asia World Cup. And you were teammate of a couple of friends of the program, Charlotte Whitaker, also Taylor Dalton, I believe, Charlie Sledge Walker. Who was the toughest person to score on?
Out of those three, I'll definitely put Charlie's up there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who is the toughest to guard?
The same person.
Same person?
Yeah, no, her IQ and her feel for the game, it's very fascinating.
One thing I really noticed is that your rebounding ability for a guard, getting 5-6 rebounds a game during your college career, you're doing that as well. Why is it important to you to get those rebounds?
It's just a chance to score again if, the ball didn't go in, obviously. But other than that, I feel like such a New Zealand thing, we really want to grab that ball, just like a rugby ball, or a netball. We really just want to have that possession. So just trying to build on that, and hopefully it positively influences my team, whatever team I'm in.
What was your recruitment journey like for you?
To be quite honest, I didn't know what I really wanted to do through high school, and I always knew that I wanted to play sport for a long time, but didn't really have the connections, nor did I know how the process works. So it was kind of just God's work, if I have to be honest. He really put people in my life that had connections, and straight out the gate, if we're talking about Wellington, New Zealand, there were, back in that time, 2019, 2018, there were so many talented players out there that had connections and all of that stuff. So I just knew, we just got to, make some positive relationships with these folks, and hopefully that spreads across to the US, because I knew that's where I wanted to be at the end of the day, was to go play college ball in the country of the sport. So
You play in two JUCO, and then also
yes.
now you ended up in the D1 college.
Yes.
What was the biggest challenge being in those JUCOs for you that you have to overcome?
The biggest challenge was definitely being independent. I know that, that happens for the D1 level as well, but I feel like taking the JUCO route was a really good fit for me, because I had to make friendships with these people for 2 years and then transition to a whole nother school for the remainder of the 2 years in my collegiate career. And I felt like JUCO really prepared me to stand my ground wherever I was. And it's a lot more scrappier, I believe, compared to the D1 level in terms of physicality. And that's something I really appreciated coming out of high school from back home, because, back home we're quite physical as well. And yeah, no, I have no regrets. Definitely think that the JUCO route is kind of underrated in a way. in terms of competitions. But no, it was a great experience.
So you were in Colorado first,
Yes.
and then Kansas,
Yes.
and now in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like about each places.
Colorado first, where I was at, it reminded me a lot of back home, just seeing the hills and mountains, river streams, all of that stuff. That was really beautiful for me. The culture shock would just be like how people are very open, or like with their life, or just really want to just be friends with you, I guess. Back home, I feel like, me and my people were kind of more reserved, um, observers and all of that stuff. So that was a huge culture shock to me, just wanting to just jump the book and just like try to be best friends in a way. Kansas was Dodge City was sort of like it was kind of like my get back year, because originally I had committed to Long Beach in California, and I was originally wanting to go to Washington State, but some personal stuff had come in the way of that, and so I just thought maybe give Long Beach a shot. Hence why my tattoo is an LA hat. um, and then I realized that no, I gotta really like take a step back. Let's go back to JUCO and see if I can find the right school for me.
How did you go about finding out the Central Arkansas interested in you?
Yeah, so the head coach actually reached out to me and my sister when me and Rosie were at Dodge City. He reminded me a lot of my JUCO coaches, um, and I just felt like I don't really see that many sisters on the same team, competing at that level, and I just thought that was a huge blessing in disguise. So I just took it straight away.
Amazing. That's definitely something special. Get to play with your sibling in the D1 college team. Not many people
Yeah.
can say that. What can you tell me about Central Arkansas, and what are some of the experience you have so far, and what do you like about it?
It's the real deal. I mean, you can definitely see the different themes, from the JUCO route compared to the D1 level. Um, Way more competitive for sure in terms of like strategies from the coaches, tactics, all of that stuff. It's very broken down, very complex, but not impossible. Um, but no, have had a great experience. Grateful to have had a year with well, my younger sister, but also another teammate from Dodge City Community College come over. So we were all like a package deal. So very grateful to have started my journey with those two. Rosie unfortunately didn't return back, so it's just me and my teammate Bree, the one from Dodge City. But no, it's been great. I'm so fortunate and blessed to have a great coaching staff that believes in me, and that happened to come from Dodge City as well. So he actually played at Dodge City, and now he's a head coach here. So it kind of worked out really good.
That's perfect. It makes perfect sense. And also, I think it's very smart for the coach to do that to get a package deal because you guys already developed team chemistry. So there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
need to actually push extra on it. You just need to gel with the other rest of the another 12 teammates or 10 teammates. So
yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah.
Also, you just mentioned about your tattoo. Let's go on to your tattoo. So obviously, you had the LA baseball cap. What is one thing about the LA culture that attracts you?
This is funny. I actually want to live in LA. I feel like that's where I belong in a way. It's home of the Lakers. It's a really good place to be if you want to go straight home as well. Just a direct flight, no transits or anything like that. Still got the beaches there. The I love the music from there as well. So yeah, I mean it explains why I got it. 20 when I finished JUCO, my first JUCO, I had a rough patch, and I felt like LA when I was there kind of helped me to like keep going. So I wanted that to symbolize, keep your head up.
And the second tattoo that I noticed, Bart Simpson. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so that was a freshman tat. We had a tattoo artist coming on campus. And I was like, all my friends were getting tattoos at the time, didn't have one at all. I didn't even ask mom and dad. So I was like, man, I'm 19. I can get this. It's fine. came back home because of COVID, and mum and dad thought it was a Sharpie drawing, for a while. But I ended up telling them it was a tattoo, and they trust me anyways. If they think I like it, they'll like it. So so I got 1965 on my right hand and 1969 on my left. These represent the birth years of my parents. Try to hold them close to me, so that's why I got them there. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you guys are very family orientated.
Very, very.
I would like you to think about someone that you look up to, or someone that who made a huge sacrifices for you. Who are you most thankful for?
Oh, there's a lot of people on that list, but if I had to put it down to one person, I'll definitely say my dad. My dad is like my best friend. I can't even talk too much about it. Like, that's it right there. He analyzes my game like no other person does, helps me to, you know, sometimes I don't even like watching the games that I've lost to, I really hate watching those types of games, but he sits me down, puts it right in front of me and says, hey, like, these are the games that you want to watch. You can really be grateful for the games that you win, but you're going to learn a lot of lessons and see all the things that you could have done better or what you can do to be better for the next game. And so just him having my back like that, but also understanding the type of player I am as well, because a lot of people have, their own opinions on how people play and stuff. But this guy's been knowing me, since I was born, but also has been seeing me play ball for a long time to really know, my strengths and weaknesses, how I evaluate the game. So, nah, definitely dad.
What was the best advice you have ever received? Could be from anyone, your coaches or your family members.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and it goes back to dad. He said a quote to me. I think when I was around 14 years old, just starting to play high school basketball, and me, I've always tried to be a perfectionist. He gave me this one quote. It was, "If you give 100% in all that you do, you'll be happy with the result, no matter the win or loss." Um, and I didn't really understand it at that time. I was just like, "No, Dad, I gotta win. I gotta win. I gotta win." Um, but growing up and after all these years, I truly understood what he meant, and that was just effort. Just putting in all that you can for 40 minutes. And this quote doesn't just relate to the court; it relates to stuff outside of the basketball field. So definitely that quote, lived by it since, and it's the reason why I'm still here playing today. So,
Brilliant. And I can tell you're such a competitive person, and that's what most of the college coaches are looking for. However, am I safe to assume that your family are quite competitive against each other, and you guys have fair share of battle against each other on the backyard basketball court, on the court down the street?
oh, surprisingly, no, there's not much competitiveness, amongst us
Okay.
personally. I think in our each individual journeys, we're very competitive. But nah, I kind of I understand what you mean and try to say, but I don't think me and my family be doing that at all.
What do you miss most about home?
Oh, the food,
The
the
food.
food. Oh
Perfect.
my goodness, the food.
What is a couple of items? Give me some example of the things that you missed.
Classic mince and cheese pie. That's like, I miss that so bad. What else? Fish and chips, just something classic, all of that stuff.
Pie has been a common theme amongst Kiwi student athletes. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all right, let's go to some fun question for you. If you have to pick 5 people to play with you in a winner takes all $1 million tournament, but there is a catch. All right. So the 3 conditions I'm gonna give it to you. You cannot choose your current teammates. All of them has to be from New Zealand, and all of them you either have to play with or play against with.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Probably choose Lauren Hippolyte for my PG because she's real quick. Yeah, I'll probably go Whitaker at my center. I'll probably go me at the three. I change it. Grace Hunter at the two. Charlie at the one. And number four, I'm gonna just say Subasa Nisbet.
Now, if you can pick anybody to play with you on this team, who would you pick?
I'll go Kyrie Irving one. my sister 2. Why not?
Yep.
Me 3. I'll put Katie at the 4, and then I'll go Big Shaq at the 5.
Nice.
Just for it.
That's awesome lineup. That's all the questions for today, Leah. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, awesome. No, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.